60th game of the season last night, beating the Sixers 115-102, but the win came at a cost. Victor Wembanyama left the game in the first half with a left rib contusion. Wembanyama's status for the final week of the regular season is unknown as of right now. Now, the Spurs have played 16 games without Wembanyama this season. They have fared pretty well, going 11-5. However, the Spurs are stronger defensively, obviously, when Wemby plays, with an increase in both opponent points per game and opponent field goal percentage when he does not play. Could the Spurs withstand Wemby missing some time as the regular season kind of winds down here, Stephen A?
I have to watch my mouth. I have to make sure that I agree with Eminem.
Who said that?
Because during the break, my daughter felt I was too disagreeable.
Come on, baby girl.
And she's,
Thank you, boo.
And she's like, she said, you don't just do that, you show her love. This is what I have to deal with, America.
Yes,
this is what I have to, ladies, all my life I got to deal with this. A older sister, you would think that was done, and 9 nieces, you would think that's enough. Anyway, the point is, when I think about Wemby, I'm not really worried. Now, if he was going to be out for the playoffs,
yeah,
I'm concerned. Because, obviously, even though I like the Spurs, and I just love Stephon Castle. I just love that brother's a rough rider. I believe in that brother. That brother is just ascending every time I watch him. Wemby, here's what concerns me about this. It didn't look like much of a play that had him injured like that, right? But then we have to remember, we go so caught up in his greatness, we forget how slim he really, really is. And so when you see something like that happens, it reminds you of the vulnerability. Like, where's the beef? You see, okay, that's the one thing lacking. Ain't nothing else lacking. But the one thing lacking on him is that beef, that meat right there. You understand? This is not Shaquille O'Neal where, you about to run to a bench for a loose ball and the entire bench clears because you're coming. Wemby there ready to catch you. There's a difference.
Yeah. So I hear you on that, I say, and I didn't even think about that last night, so I think that's a great call out. Here's what got me thinking, though. As much as I think the Spurs are rewriting how basketball can be played around Victor Wembanyama, as we talk about them being a favorite, we still go back to their inexperience in totality. You know who's lurking in that play-in position that could draw them?
Lurking? Ooh.
Yeah, the Clippers.
Okay.
Right? So I understand. The Clippers are in the play-in. We talk about a 2-seed. But we're talking about a 2-seed perhaps without Wembanyama. And the one area that you do give an advantage to the Clippers, even your boy Kawhi Leonard, who has been available this year.
I've been nice to him.
You have been very kind, and rightfully so.
Because he deserves it.
Right. He put up MVP sort of numbers, right?
Yes, he has.
Now, granted, they're coming off of a loss, but I think they've won 5 out of their last 8. And through the course of the season, they've had these runs. That experience, that group, including Darius Garland, like the size of that group, Ty Lue as a head coach versus Mitch Johnson in his first rodeo as a head coach as far as the postseason is concerned, that is something that has caught my attention if this is going to be an extended absence for Victor Wembanyama.
Well, I would say this to you. I believe without Wembanyama, the Clippers beat the San Antonio Spurs. Let me be very, very clear. They don't have any deficiency in coaching when it comes to Ty Lue and Jeff Van Gundy. Now, I know they got their explanations about what happened to CP3. I'm always point the finger at Lawrence Frank and how he handled CP3's departure. He's been around too long. Lawrence Frank knows better than to handle stuff like that. Having said that, they do look good. They have looked better. And Kawhi Leonard has looked all world. Now, I'm going to fall off the wagon. If that brother get hurt again, he ain't available for the playoffs. Because I have never once questioned his ability. I know he's great. What I've always said is his availability. Damn, this brother can give a master class on how to get time off. He better show up. But as long as he's available in the playoffs, oh, damn, we can't dismiss the Clippers.
Something also to think about, Victor Wembanyama does have to play one more game, at least 20 minutes, in order to be eligible for postseason awards.
Guys who have not yet played 65 games this season: Wembanyama, Luka Doncic, Cade Cunningham, Anthony Edwards, and at this moment, Nikola Jokic. Now, Jokic is at 63. He'll probably get there. He's healthy. They won last night. But my point is, the 65-game rule has a purpose, and I understand it. I was in favor of it, and I think I still am. But, Shump, when the season ends, if we have all NBA teams and Wembanyama, Luka, Cade, and Ant are not on it, it will not really be reflective of who the best players in the league are. Is that a problem in your opinion?
As much as that is a problem when you say it like that.
Yeah.
Because I've been watching too.
Right.
And I love that these awards should be able to spread out to who we think they should go to. But I'm also very big on, if it's a rule, it's a rule.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like the bend it and break it and we're going to have a clause for this, we're going to appeal this. It's like, what's the point of the rule then?
Right.
Like, at that point, if there's too many of those, if years come, we keep on having this issue, I think that it's one of the things where you need to scrap it because we got to reconsider how to do it because being healthy in the NBA is hard. It's a challenge.
Right.
It's also a skill, isn't it?
Without a doubt.
It's a
Being
skill.
able to play and be available for your team,
right.
Especially as you start getting older and older in your career, like that's something. It's not a stat, but it's a stat.
Right. Right. That's
What do you think, Alan?
That's the
Is
most
the
important.
65-game rule good for the sport right now?
It still is. I still think it is. It's only the third season they've had it, and while there could be, if you want to give the voters some discretion, I was once a voter when I was a beat writer, and I would always consider how many games played. I always thought that was important, your availability, but this was never an issue back then as much as it is now. The Players Association agreed to this rule. There was talk about how they thought this was a good idea.
Yeah.
They made the rule, and this is crazy to say because never heard this in any other sport, to encourage stars to play in more games and not sit out. So, don't get mad at a rule that you created. Understand that. So that maybe needs some nuance. Maybe it needs to have a stipulation where a voter can say, close enough. But in the end, it's only the third year. This is the first outlier season. We'll find out if this becomes a trend. I don't think it will be.
I would like for them to nip it in the bud because the
Meaning what?
Just I'm not going to say scrap it. I'm not going to say scrap it. I'm going to say leave it in there and enforce it because, like I said, I had rules in my house. And I was good at following the rules. They said you can't travel with the ball. Y'all don't travel with the ball. You got to play 65 games, get healthy, stay healthy, and then, take a little bit of luck.
And very quickly, I always say, if you have an injury, talk to a doctor. If you can't find a doctor, talk to a professional athlete. Did that look bad to you? The way he was holding himself and everything? Did that look like something that's still going to be bothering him in 2 weeks?
I don't know if it'll bother him in 2 weeks, but it looks like he's going to have to play through it. I think that's one of those things. A contusion. I've had to play with thigh contusion, knee contusion.
This is ribs.
A rib contusion generally is about a mild one, 4 days, and he could play.
Do you think?
Yeah, he just got the
He's
smaller
got Friday
frame.
and Sunday.
You're nervous because he's got the smaller frame. If he was built like Giannis, we wouldn't be as nervous.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? We're waiting for him to put that 20
That's
pounds
been the
on.
concern with him. When you get to the playoffs and he's getting banged around,
It's the
can he
playoffs,
sustain
Alex.
it?
I
The
think
season
it's the
ends
playoffs.
Sunday.
Somebody to look in the camera like that and say what he says, I think he's going to tough it out.
I'm saying
He won't have a playoff game until the following weekend. So forgetting the
Plenty of
64 or
time,
65 games, he has time to get ready. All right, as we continue, we'll tell you why the Chiefs might